Mercy. Mercy is a word people like to throw around, isn't it? Oh, they love to pretend they're compassionate, generous, full of good intentions. But here's the kicker, nobody gives a damn about mercy. Not really. Mercy is for fools, for the desperate clinging to a false hope that people have hearts of gold. Ha! The real heart of humanity is made of greed, cold, hard greed. It's not a flaw, it's the engine that drives this whole ridiculous circus we call society. You want something from someone? You think begging for mercy will get it? No, mercy is the last refuge of the powerless. It's like asking a wolf to spare you while you bleed out in the forest. The wolf doesn't care about your pleas, it cares about its hunger. You appeal to mercy, and you're handing over your fate like a gift. But if you know the rules of the game, if you're smart, you don't beg. You offer them a taste of what they crave, self-interest, that sweet nectar of their own desires. Let me paint you a little picture. Picture a businessman. Let's call him Phil. Phil's having a rough year. The market's down. The deals are slipping through his fingers like sand. Now Phil's got this employee, a real workhorse, loyal as a dog. And one day, the employee goes into Phil's office and asks for a raise. He talks about how hard he's worked, how loyal he's been, how he's been there through thick and thin. He appeals to Phil's sense of fairness, his mercy. And do you know what Phil does? He smiles, pats him on the back, and sends him out the door with a nice little lie. Maybe next year. Why? Because mercy, loyalty, fairness, they're just words we use to keep the sheep in line. You see, what that employee didn't realize is that Phil only cares about one thing, his own survival. The whole time he's nodding and smiling, he's thinking about how much it would cost him, how much it would hurt his bottom line. But if that employee had been smart, if he'd known the real game, he wouldn't have wasted time on mercy. No, he would have shown Phil what was in it for him. Maybe a new client, maybe a way to save on taxes. Dangle a little something shiny in front of Phil's face, and he'd be writing a check before you could say profit margin. You ever try asking a friend for help? Maybe you're in a tight spot, desperate for a handout, so you tell them your sad story, how you've fallen on hard times, how you need their help, how you know they've got a good heart. And what do they say? Oh, I wish I could help, but I just can't right now. It's all excuses, isn't it? Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. They don't care about your sob story. They care about themselves. They've got their own worries, their own fears, their own needs. Mercy is a dead end, a fool's gambit. You appeal to self-interest, though, and watch how quickly they turn. Imagine you go to that same friend, but this time you don't beg. You tell them how helping you could make them look good, how it could boost their reputation, or better yet, how it could put a little extra money in their pocket. Suddenly their tune changes. Oh, I'd love to help. Anything for a friend. They're all smiles now, all eager, because you've hit them where it counts, right in their greed. You've made it about them. You've shown them the profit. Look at the politicians. They're the real artists in this game. Every election, they talk about helping the poor, the sick, the helpless. It's all about mercy, right? But that's not what wins votes. No, they win because they promise people more. More jobs, more money, more benefits. They appeal to people's selfish desires, and that's what gets them elected. They don't care about mercy. They care about power, and power doesn't come from mercy. It comes from understanding what people really want. It's the oldest trick in the book. You tell them what they want to hear, give them what they crave, and they'll follow you like sheep to the slaughter. You know, I once helped a guy who was down on his luck. He was in deep debts, enemies, the whole sad story. He begged me for mercy, pleaded with me to help him out. And I looked him in the eyes and said, "What's in it for me?" He was stunned. He expected a sob story to melt my heart, but I'm not a charity case. I made him an offer, a deal that would benefit me. And suddenly, he found a way to make it work. He didn't get it. He thought I was being cruel, but the truth is, I was giving him a gift, teaching him the real way the world works. Mercy is for the weak. Self-interest is the only currency that matters. So, the next time someone pleads for mercy, don't waste your time. Don't appeal to their better nature. They don't have one. Appeal to their greed, their vanity, their endless hunger for more. Make them think they're getting something out of it, and they'll give you everything you want with a smile on their face. That's the real game. Mercy is the lie we tell ourselves to feel better about being monsters. But self-interest, that's the truth we're all too afraid to admit. And the best part? They never see it coming. They think they're too smart to be played, too good to be fooled by their own desires. But in the end, everyone's looking out for number one. And if you know how to use that, well, you can make them dance any way you want. You don't need their mercy, you just need their greed. And that, my friends, is the punchline. Go on, test it yourself. Appealing to self-interest has a hold that mercy could never match.